Yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Spry?
Feeling spry.
Welcome, everyone, to this completely unnecessary podcast. For Tuesday, we're back on a Tuesday, August 17th, 2021. That's Spryful Ian Ferguson.
I'm pumped up.
I'm poofy-haired Pat Contry. On the show today, boy, we're talking about lots of fun stuff. And talking about the galaxy of ball hair trimmers as well.
Yeah.
Our sponsor today, Manscaped. We're talking about the Honus Wagner baseball card going for a record. Amico NFTs and their pre-order free gift. We're talking about, are your games worth millions? Also a Patreon poll topic. Voicemail. Ian, how was your weekend?
Fast and fantastic.
Is there any weekend update?
Update. It was good. Started the new job yesterday.
New job.
In an official capacity. And I got to say, working from home is very, very nice. It is very comfortable. And now that I know that I'm leaving Luna, my shifts at Luna are a little less stressful.
A little more pep in your step.
A little more pep in my step.
You're like, I'm gone.
Don't give a fuck.
It's like
don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck.
It's like the last week of school.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, what did you do to me?
I have to be there, but I'm not like, I'm not.
Remember that last week of school in grade school, especially grade school?
It was always great. It was wonderful.
It's like no tests anymore,
right. You
really.
Just showed up and you played tag and threw a Frisbee around.
You made like a couple of little quizzes, but by like that Tuesday.
How far can you jump? Let's go, little kids. We're going to see how far you can jump. We're going to call it a field day.
By that Tuesday.
Field day, we're going to measure your jumps.
Yeah, we had field days anyway, but like by that Tuesday, we were done. We were done. We were like, 3 days of just, get your report card. You find out what class you're going to next year. Sorry, what else did you do, Ian?
Had some carne asada yesterday.
Oh,
it's delicious.
Okay,
it's delicious. Yeah. How about you? What did you do? What did you do?
I got sushi with Frank. We ordered some sushi.
Yeah, and watched the Mets get destroyed.
Yes, Ian. The Mets. If there's one tradition I have in my lifetime, is watching the Mets blow first place in late summer. They've scored probably 6 runs all of August. Their offense is terrible.
Yeah,
terrible. And the goat DeGrom is still out. He didn't come back maybe till September. His forearm, something's wrong with his forearm, unfortunately. So not only could I not see the Mets probably get in the playoffs, but seeing a Cy Young for DeGrom probably won't happen because he does not have enough innings earned to qualify. He only has 15 starts this season. So it's going to be like, he has the best ERA ever for a starting pitcher, but it's only 15 games. It's like 1.08. And that was with his last couple of games being bad. It was like 0.6 before that. So yeah, it's a shame. So yeah, that's the life of a Mets fan, though. It's like 1 out of 50 years you have joy, and then the rest of the time it's just you lovable losers. You do have the best mascot in sports. Mr. Met is the best, and the family.
It's a fucking creeper.
You want
Mr. Met's a creeper.
No. Mario's a creeper behind you. Mr. Met is happiness and joy.
He just wants to find his keys.
He wants to find, and poor Mario is getting his head squished below him. He's just
good Mario.
I played a game.
What'd you play?
A modern game. I played Trigger Witch. I played it on Switch. My friend Dan from Rainbite Games.
Dan, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. Go Dan. Go Dan.
It's a dual joystick game shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So one moves and one directions, and you are a witch, a kindly little witch. And there's a story. So basically, you figure, witches and there's magic, but in this universe of the game, the magic's been almost snuffed out. So they now resort to defending themselves with handguns and machine guns and stuff like that. And there's a story reason for that. So it's just sort of jarring, though, when you play it. You're like, these cute little creatures, and they're attacking you. All right, I'm going to get my machine gun and blow them away.
Gun them the fuck down.
Yes, but it's a fun game. I love the graphic style. It's clever writing. It's like a combination of, Smash TV and Zelda. So it's open world adventure, but then you get into like rooms where you have to kill all these monsters.
A twin stick RPG, as it were. Action RPG.
I don't think that's existed before, but now it does in Trigger Witch by Rainbite. And there's also, so it's on PS4, Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X, all the Xboxes. And then you can also get via Play Asia, you can get I think a physical version there. So yeah, so check out Trigger Witch there from my pal Dan. Speaking of games online, this came down the pike from a summary judgment. So remember ROM Universe, talked about them years ago. Nintendo went after them, then they couldn't even pay the paltry, amount or whatever the hell they were supposed to pay. 2.1 million summary judgment was against ROM Universe operator Matthew Storman. Now the new orders that they must destroy the ROMs.
Destroy them.
Burn the ROMs.
Much weeping and gnashing of teeth as you take a hammer to all of your incredibly irreplaceable ROMs. More interestingly, though, is the fact that he is now forbidden to copy, distribute, or sell.
Oh.
But he's not even allowed to use an emulator.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not allowed to play unauthorized copies of games. So he can't use an emulator or anything like that. I don't know how they're going to I don't know how they're going to verify that the ROMs have been destroyed. I mean, since digital files can always be
I was going to say,
replicated.
You got to go get the whole magnetic hard drive wipe, and you got to drill it with holes. How do you destroy a ROM technically?
I don't know. It's interesting because it's using the terminology that would be used for bootlegs and counterfeits in other venues, but it doesn't really fit with ROMs. Like if it was coins, I would understand. Okay, he's got to melt down all these bootleg coins or T-shirts or something like that. But yeah, how do you? I mean, does he have to record a screen capture video of him highlighting all, hitting Shift Delete,
and then
hitting yes,
and getting one of those
emptying the recycling bin,
getting one of those delete shredder programs to really delete it from your hard drive to run ones and zeros over it? Is that what you got to do to do this?
Yeah, so very strange.
Back in May 2021, the court granted $2.1 million summary judgment against ROM Universe operator Matthew Storman, but Nintendo was denied a permanent injunction that would forbid the site from staying online. Wow, I'm surprised that the judge was like, "Oh, you can still have the site, but you just can't do the ROMs." One of the reasons was related to the fact that Storman had taken the site down. Oh, okay. And the court saw this as a sign that there would be no future infringements. However, Nintendo asked the court to reconsider, especially after Storman hinted that ROM Universe could have a potential comeback. Why would you do that? Why would you hint?
Why would you do that? These people are absolutely insane.
They have millions of judgment against you from Nintendo. It's just the one that Nintendo was like, yeah, just give us $50 a month. You're fine.
But,
was that the one?
But we've had examples of that in the past. Nintendo generally just like, okay, fine, just give us some
we can't
paltry pittance for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Plaintiff's evidence demonstrates a threat of continued infringement based on defendant's representations that he may relaunch his website, which previously contained plaintiff's copyrighted games.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? These people can't. There's a subset of people who just cannot help but trip over themselves and fucking fuck themselves up.
I guess he realized, well, they can't get money out of me because I don't have the money to pay millions, so I'm gonna be the celebrity pirate ROM guy. That's my thing. There's other ROM sites out there anyway. They exist. That if you really want to get your ROMs, so it's I don't know. The injunction prohibits ROM Universe's operator to copy, distribute, sell, or even play unauthorized copies. He can't even play unauthorized copies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can't even use emulators.
Then he must destroy all pirated Nintendo games by August 17, 2021. That's today when we're recording this. Defendants shall permanently destroy all unauthorized Nintendo games or other unauthorized copies of Nintendo's intellectual property, including movies, books, and music, no later than August 17th. Then he must have filed that he did this no later than August 20th. So there you go. That's funny. You okay scrolling there? Something happening on the Twitter universe?
I'm pulling something up that I need to reference later, so I don't have to pause later when I do it.
Oh, okay. Looks like Ian doing prep during the intro. Who says we're just a couple of dumb podcasters? We prepare a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Wiggle it. Just a little bit.
You want to talk about the next topic, Ian?
Do we? Gaming companies should avoid predatory designs, say lawmakers. Thanks, lawmakers. That's a great idea.
The UK is taking the tip of the spear here.
This is coming out of the UK. It seems like a lot of the stuff that the UK seems to have less tolerance for the whole loot box thing than the US does. I don't really understand why we don't say this sort of thing here. But hopefully this will set some sort of precedent.
But they're starting to do it here, according to this, in letters to a dozen major gaming companies, including Blizzard, Epic Games, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Riot. Some senators, Ed Markey from Massachusetts, Kathy Castor from Florida, and Lori Trahan from Massachusetts, 3 Democrats, press executives to extend new UK design regulations to children in the U.S. It is imperative that Congress acts with urgency to enact a strong privacy law for children and teens in the 21st century. As we work towards the goal, we urge you to extend to American children and teens any privacy enhancements that you implement to comply with the AADC.
So this is coming from the Age-Appropriate Design Code is what the new rules are called in the UK. They'll be applying to social media and games like Roblox and Minecraft. And they design their products in the best interests of children, basically age-appropriate, specific for who they are mostly targeting, basically offering stricter privacy settings, policies for different age groups, and restrict nudging techniques often used to encourage users to continue using the service. The U.S. has some laws protecting children's privacy, most notably the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. But the law only applies to children under the age of 12. The UK rules extend to minors under the age of 18.
Then one more quote here. The prevalence of microtransactions, often encouraged through nudging, have led to high credit card bills for parents, the lawmakers wrote. Loot boxes go one step further, encouraging purchase before a child knows what the bundle contains, akin to gambling. We always said that this would come. It was just takes some time. But yeah, I guess if you need some will in Congress to write a law and pass it, and you got to get the Senate to stamp on it. I don't see why this would not be a bipartisan bill unless they got folks lobbying via the game industry. Now, it wouldn't be shocking if there are lobbyists.
No, I was going to say I wouldn't be shocked at all.
What is it called? K Street? That's where all the lobbyists are. That's where they all live in Washington. I think it's like K Street, I believe.
Really?
I read about that. Did I make that up? K Street.
I don't know.
Sometimes I make stuff up and I think, oh, I'm right. I'm either right about stuff or super wrong. K Street is a major thoroughfare in the United States Capitol, known as a center for numerous lobbyists and advocacy groups. There you go. That's where they hang out. It's like a mall of lobbyists. That sounds like the best time ever.
Sounds awful. Why don't we take a third street over to ultimatenintendo.com?
Why don't we? What can you get? I can lobby you to get.
You can get the Nintendo book, the Super Nintendo book. You can get pins, stickers,
DVDs,
T-shirts, DVDs.
Limited T-shirt,
DVDs.
Thank you, Ian.
You're welcome.
Thank you for help keeping the lights on in Castle Country.
No problem. I'm here for you.
I'm also returning to Twitch this Wednesday, twitch.tv/ContraCode for 80s, and we throw now a couple of 90s commercials at the end. We tease you now because we're going to run out of 80s commercials.
You are going to run out of 80s commercials. There's not an infinite.
We've gone through 600 volumes. 600 I've gone through. There's only about 850, so I got to start peppering in the 90s commercials.
Wowzers.
Yeah, 90s are not nice when it comes to commercials. And I'm also on Cameo, cameo.com/PatContry. We forgot to record something for someone this morning, but we'll do it quickly afterwards, hopefully.
All right.
All right, Ian, there's another mini that's been announced.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
This one is probably going to be more popular with those folks over in Europe. But the Amiga is getting a mini version, and it comes with worms, which was the first thing I thought of. I was like, well, that's going to have worms, because that's about all I could think of.
We don't want worms, though. Oh, the game.
The game, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
What a coincidence. It's the summer of video game years, by the way. And just yesterday, on Monday, we showed the 85 episode, which was the Amiga year. There you go. What a coincidence.
So, list of games involves Alien Breed 3D, Another World, ATR Altair and Racing, Battle Chess, Cadaver, Kickoff 2, Pinball Dreams, Simon the Sorcerer, Speedball 2, Brutal Deluxe, The Chaos Engine, Worms, The Director's Cut, and Zool. There's going to be 25 games in total, and it comes with a controller that looks like the Amiga CD.
CD32. It's exactly looks like that. I don't know if they had a controller look like that before.
My guess is they probably did. My guess is they probably did, but I only know it from being the Amiga CD.
You get your boxy 2-button mid-80s mouse there, which is nice. And okay. Well, it's going to be the A500 Mini. It's clearly based on the Amiga 500. It's from The Verge. Retro Games Limited, who did the Commodore Mini from a few years ago says that it'll also emulate the more powerful AGA graphics hardware from the Amiga 1200. I think that's the one I have in my garage, the 1200. I found it at the swap meet, I believe. Yeah, there's only, let's see, what is that? About 10 games, 12 games confirmed so far out of 25. I recognize Pinball Dreams, Battle Chess, Worms, Director's Cut, Zool, and the rest. I have no idea what those are. Kickoff 2 we always see. That's always one that was on the Super Nintendo as well, I believe.
Don't recognize Speedball?
I don't think so.
No. I'm going to make a prediction here.
On this Mini?
I will put $5 whole down on, I bet you Alfred Chicken's on here at some point. Bet you they put Alfred Chicken on here.
Was that on the Amiga, you think?
Yeah, it was. Absolutely, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Amiga wasn't a big thing here.
It was one of the few Amiga CD games, too. But there's
now I want to get that.
There's just an AGA. There's a AGA graphics version, but it was on the Amiga CD.
There's two game franchises I should collect every version of. It's Chase HQ and Alfred Chicken. I should go for every single version of those games just to do it. You're going to be able to change between 50 and 60 refresh screen on here
nice.
for Europe or North America, so that's pretty cool. Save states, built-in CRT filter, and various scaling options. Gamepad reminiscent, they say here, of the CD32, so that's what they're going for here. One is, hopefully, I'm guessing there'll be a USB controller you can throw in here as well. You can hook up your own keyboard since this one is not functional, which, that makes sense.
Then there was a Mini Commodore. I think this is the same. Is this the same people that did you say that?
Yeah,
the Mini Commodore?
It's the same ones that did the Mini Commodore. They did the Commodore one. They did, I think, the joystick one and the separate keyboard one. But you could use that keyboard, I thought, right?
No, I thought it was another instance where you
couldn't.
I think there was a full-on recreation of the Commodore, yes, but there was a Mini one that had a non-functional
The C64
keyboard.
Mini. The 64 Mini has the keyboard with the joystick. It's only $40, really, on Amazon. Yeah, that's
tempting.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess because it's smaller form factor. Yeah, that one, I think it was already 2 years ago that came out at least. That was an early one. So there's that, and now there's this. So there you go. Let's see. Oh no, yeah, you have to plug in a keyboard to use the Commodore as well. So it's not functional. It just looks cute.
Yeah.
But you get that joystick, that classic joystick with the. It looks like a clown with a big nose saying hi.
Yes, it does.
That's what it looks like, that red joystick. I'll put the picture somewhere here. So anyway. Pac-Man. Every week, a new way to monetize Pac-Man, whether it's brunch, vinyl figures, a new game release somewhere. Now you get an old school style Casio digital watch coming out. And this was said to me twice, so I'm like, we have to talk about this. I don't know why. It's the Casio A100 WEPC. Waka Waka.
Honestly, it's kind of nice looking. I don't hate it.
So in the late 70s to early 80s, you had the Seiko watches. Those were now worth money. My father had one.
Seiko watches.
Seiko, whatever. That they were like the first, like I guess from what I know, and I'm not an expert, the first stylish LCD watches, and they try to push those like early 80s.
Yeah, I'm not a watch person.
And they're now worth money though. From what I hear, like those are worth money, even though everyone had them back then.
Some of them are. Like this, I think the Seiko TV watch is worth a lot. That's a crazy little watch.
So this is that same sort of style where it's gold. You have the LCD readout, but this one you have just Pac-Man on the band, watch band, and inside the inset on the face of the watch, you get Pac-Man. Remember, you can't play this. This isn't like a Pac-Man game. This is just a digital watch, old school.
I would never wear this, but I'm
not a watch guy.
I actually like the gold in this instance, and I normally don't like gold. I think this is actually a pretty smart looking watch if you like Pac-Man and watches.
It looks smart, huh?
Yeah.
Old timey saying. It looks smart.
That does look smart.
Looks sharp. This is originally was 1978. This Casio version, resin case. Blah 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 blah. So what is this going to cost? What is this going to cost here? Oh, the back has a cute little ingrain, not ingrain.
I saw that
stamped. This costs more than $100. I'm going to scream.
It's probably expensive. Is there a price on it?
They're hiding the price. Where's the price? I'm scrolling down on Casio's website. Where is the price?
Did you check it out? Did you hit the check it out button? Did you check it out?
I checked it out and not seeing the price on this.
It's probably very expensive.
Oh, this is going to be $250 probably. I thought it was going to be like $100. But most of these watches are not super expensive, I don't think, nowadays. But Anyway, Ian,
Movie
I
talk.
can never figure out how to attach those metal ones. You like clip it on around and like.
Oh yeah.
When I was a kid, I couldn't figure it out. I had the cheap ones that you get, like the Free Olympics one, in 1988, that was stuck inside a cereal box. That was my LCD watch.
That's not too bad. $110.
Oh, I said $100. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I still don't want one. Give me that Rolling Thunder one, man.
Ooh, on eBay though, it's already going for $228. So I wonder if this is one of those instances where, yeah, it's just like everything in this life. Can't have anything nice. Everything's got to be fucking scalped right through the moon, right in your butt.
Right in your butt?
Scalped
right to the moon?
ass.
Right to the moon like Manscaped going across the galaxy?
Jesus H, fuck.
We love you, Manscaped. We love you. You take good care of us. Baseball cards, Ian. They're all the rage with the kids.
Tell me about Honus.
Honus Wagner.
Hit me with the Honus.
We bring up this card every other month because we talk about, collectibles. And this was always the big collectible out there. The Honus Wagner T206 card made between 1909 and 1911. It was a tobacco card from that. Remember back in the day, I was around for that. You go down to your local 5 and dime. Back then it was a 1 and 5, and you would get your pack of tobacco.
A 1 and 5.
It was a 1 and 5, Ian. And then
what do we got now? A dime and quarter?
that was a $1.50.
$1.50, $1 or $2.
So anyway, you get your pack of tobacco.
$1 or $2.
You get your cigarette, and there'd be a baseball card in there. I did it every Saturday. My grandpa would go with me back in the early 1900s. I remember that. I'm immortal, by the way. And so over the years, these started becoming collectible amongst baseball card collectors. They realized that, these things exist. Okay. But for some reason, the Honus Wagner card, he's in the Hall of Fame, was one of the early Hall of Famers. For some reason, that one was especially scarce. You can find tobacco cards. They're not extremely hard to find. For some reason, this guy's hard to find. And the theory was that he did not like tobacco or cigarettes, and that's why he did it. So he had it pulled. That's not been confirmed, but that's the thought about, like, why is this card so scarce compared to everything else? So it just sold for over $6 million. Was it 6.6? Did I say that?
Jeez
on here?
Louise.
This set records all the time, this card. But then it got overpassed by other cards and more recent cards, like a Luka Doncic Logo Man card sold for $4.6 million. It was always weird how these new cards can sell for that much money. They make them in like quantities of like 1 or 5 or whatever. Patrick Mahomes rookie patch card sold for $4.3 million. Patrick Mahomes has been playing for like 4 years. It's insane. This is a card that's over 100 years old. That's legitimately like he's a Hall of Famer. This is a historic card. It's been around for 50 years since the discovery of this as being a thing. It sold for $1 million originally in 2000, and now it went for $6.6 million at Robert Edwards Auctions. I talked to Robert about this last night. He gave me a call. And he's like, "Yeah, Pat, I'm surprised about this."
Your weekly checkup with Robert.
Yeah, it's right after my ninja call. Robert Edwards calls me. The T206 Honus Wagner is the most iconic sports card of all time. That's true, said REA President Brian Dwyer. Collectors relished the rare opportunity to own a Wagner card that was graded this high. It was a 3.0, by the way. I mean, these weren't taken well care of. They were home next to cigarettes and tobacco.
Yeah,
stuff.
they came in tobacco packs. That's a
they smell like 100-year-old tobacco. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the guy who shit his pants on the airplane?
No, Ian, but please connect this to a tobacco card somehow.
So Bonnie and I were on an airplane once, and the guy behind us shit his pants, and it was so bad. But I'll never forget, after sitting through 6 hours of dealing with shit stank in the air, we stood up, and a dude in a military outfit stood up and goes, "Oh, wait, smells like someone's carrying a wet pack of cigarettes around in their pants."
That must be a military saying.
It must be. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. You shit your pants. Oh, is that guy carrying wet cigarettes around in his pants? Anyway, tobacco doesn't smell good.
So just going back to this story to let you know how actually rare this card is, or scarce. There's only 7 graded ones known to exist. SGC has 3 graded ones, and competitor PSA has 4 in higher grades. So at least 7. Wait, that's not clear if there's more than 7. I'll look it up. There's not a lot of these things.
No.
It's not like Super Mario 64.
Right.
It's legitimately rare. It's gonna be years until you find one like this. So there you go. Originally discovered by collector Mike Ehrenstein.
Oh,
In 1972, he found the card in a lot of 600 cards he bought for $112. So that was, I guess, one of the first ones. This was the one that was discovered then. And then he sold it to a New Jersey collector 2 years later for $1,100. He then sold it to a collector who also was in Jersey for undisclosed price. That guy then sold it to a fourth guy to Texas 30 years later. Also to another guy. Then 30 years later, it sold in 2012 for $1.2 million. So this is not the one. Remember, went in the 90s that, like, remember Tom McFarlane got one, or Gretzky tried to get one. Like, that's how this got famous in the 90s.
Okay.
Those guys would.
I remember learning about it in the 90s.
But this specific
I didn't
one,
know who was going for it.
Yeah, but this specific one, though.
Oh, okay.
This is the path this one took. But this went for $1 million in the 90s. This was like the first $1 million like big thing before comic books hit that. It was good old T206. Honus Wagner played for 21 years in the majors.
Honus Wagner.
This picture of him looks like he's 58 years old, but again, people aged a lot quicker in the 19-teens, I guess.
Yeah, they
1920s.
did.
But this picture of him on here looks ancient.
Like 18-year-olds look like they were ready to settle down into retirement.
Baseball players shouldn't have jowls, is what I'm saying. Shouldn't have jowls, but they didn't have the training regimen we have today. They didn't have that. Otisburg. Zelda Ocarina, the Gateway 64 Hotel version ROM, was recently dumped, Ian.
Very exciting. Not that excited about this one. But hey, it's here.
But it's our pals at, Forest of Illusion giving the details.
And I like them. And I'm happy for the preservation. I just have nothing to say about this one. Some of these I have something to say about. Some of them I don't. This Zelda, not so much. This is a weird Zelda though. It's the Hotel Zelda. There is no save file here. So basically, either you fired this up because you wanted a little taste, a little dab of the Zelda before you went to bed, or you got
a big business meeting in the morning. You want to play some Ocarina.
You just you want to run through the first couple of temples. Yeah. So no save files. You would have to play all the way through.
You rent it by the hour.
Yes.
This is Loginet. I have the controller, I think, somewhere in my garage. I got one of these N64 controllers somewhere. I don't know if it's this one. The hourly rental Gateway 64 system. It was a hit in its heyday, according to ZeldaUniverse.net. A hit in its heyday. I'd love to see the stats that they had about how many people actually rented this in rooms with their. I've been in hotel rooms with that N64 controller. I remember seeing them where you rented. They had them built in. I guess.
This is interesting. So they do say this is kind of neat.
Okay,
that's kind of neat. Those who run the Hotel Ocarina of Time files, I'm reading from Zelda Universe, will begin as adult Link in Hyrule Field, which opens the door to many questions and possibilities. Can you become Child Link? Is it possible to beat the game? Who knows? Project 64 is required to play the software, and naturally this version does not have 3 save files in the start menu. The source files did not even contain a save file, as the game was meant to be rented by the hour.
All right. Well, if you want the hotel experience, if you want to run through, what does it take, 12 hours to beat Ocarina? I don't know. Go have it with this version. Do a speed run on the hotel version. There you go. We'll have a whole subcategory for the speed running.
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. If your girl is acting up, well, then you bring her friend. Everybody now.
I don't know how it goes. I forget.
I used to know every word to that
77? When did that song come out?
No. Rapper's Delight was, I think, 82.
Okay.
Maybe not.
All right, you look that up, Ian, while we transition to the main podcast. Will you do that for me?
1980.
Okay. All right, it wasn't too... You're like, no, Pat, not 77. 80.
We were both off by a few years.
Same disco era.
Yeah.
That wasn't disco, though. They put that in a disco, probably.
But that's how it started. They rapped over instrumental disco.
I was going to say, that would have been in a disco, probably.
Yes.
In an urban area, they would do that style. I want to be... Why couldn't I have been born, like, I don't know, 64? I could have hit the end of the disco era.
I don't know. Why couldn't you have been born in 2362? 2112.
Well, it's going to be sucked by then. It's going to be like we're going to be on fire every day by that point.
Yeah.
Going to be crispy skinned.